Alrighty, this is going to be a video dedicated to people who are looking to come over to Taiwan and do a bit of teaching, whether it be working holiday or to save a bit of money or whatever. Although don't kid yourself, you won't save a shitload, but you can live a nice life and manage to save money. Having said that, let's get into something that's been on my mind for the last probably half a day or ever since I found out, really. Now, when you find employment, you will start working and you will find that you have multiple classes of varying age groups, whether it be kids, young adults, whatever. And I was, I guess, too busy biting the pillow and taking it dry to even question that one of my classes is 25, was it 26? I don't know, 25 or 26, like 7-year-old, 8-year-old kids. And it's hectic. It is, I'm telling you, it is absolutely bonkers. But one thing that most companies won't do is pay you for lesson planning time and homework grading. And I suppose that's fair enough, because they can't pay you by the hour to do it, because people that are really slow to do it would end up getting more pay. And people that are quick to do it would get shit pay. Doesn't really work. So they kind of don't pay you for lesson planning or homework marking, but you do get a good base rate. Having said that, if you do find employment, or when you find employment, definitely find out what that base rate is and for how many students, as it wasn't abundantly clear to me until one of my colleagues this morning mentioned that you're paid your base rate for up to and including 20 students for this particular company. I'm not sure how it is with other companies. And you get X amount per student over that going on, because of course it's going to take more time to do lesson planning, considering how many students are there, how much materials you might need if you need to get things photocopied, or you want to buy something to do a special activity, or homework, and particularly things like creative writing pieces. It takes a while when you've got a kid with sloppy handwriting, terrible grammar, and a poor vocabulary, or an extensive vocabulary that they continuously spell incorrect or incorrectly, whatever. And it didn't really dawn on me until I went, it's only a couple of bucks. Until I worked it out that roughly, apparently, I'm being underpaid basically the equivalent of a pair of Nike Air Maxes every month. Now, when I heard about it, I was like, it's only like this much per week. And then I worked out, hang on, I'm paid monthly, so that's this much per month. That's That's a pair of Nike Air Maxes every month. Fuck that, I want my money. And so me and my colleagues were discussing in the little teachers' room that they kind of stuff us in, whatever. How best to bring this up with the branch manager or the teacher, or who to bring it up with and how to bring it up. As you know, being a Chinese culture, they don't like to have things, or I should say Asian culture, they don't like to have things just thrust upon them and then be stuck like, this concept of face and losing face. You don't do that to the person that employs you, or at least, do it if you're irreplaceable in a certain sense. If you know you're really good, you're definitely worth more money, do whatever the hell you want, they won't touch you. But for the most part, just you're in another culture, respect their culture. So we're trying to work out how best to bring it up with them, or if to bring it up at all, which I very, very sternly expressed my opinion to my colleagues. That was that we should definitely bring it up, because it would seem a bit shitty if only one person brought it up and the others didn't. So there's this female colleague I worked with who very kindly reminded the others and myself of this information. The reason why she remembered was because she got stuck grading, homework and tests and quizzes at home last night. It took her, I think she said 2.5 hours. Now 2.5 hours isn't very long, but for only one class, when she might have, 2 or 3 others that she has to grade stuff for the next class that's coming up in the next, 1 or 2 days. And she was a bit pissed off about that, and rightly so. I would be as well. So would you. 2.5 hours, it's like 1 or 2 classes, depends on how big your classes or long your classes go run for. Yeah. So it's a good trap that most people, 100% of the people in my branch have fallen into it. But apparently, after a bit more inquiring around as to, in the area from people it has happened to, if you do bring it up with them, they will be like, oh, okay, we'll pay it, and they will back pay it. However, it seems a bit rotten that you have to be the one to bring it up. They don't just do it right off the bat. Which seems dodgy, but if I owned that school, I would do the same fucking thing, because you want to make more money or not spend as much money, not the same thing. So yeah, for people who are looking to travel to Taiwan, or I guess China or Vietnam or Japan, anywhere, definitely when going through the interview process or even when you land, just ask the question straight up front. Just sort of go, hey, I'm paid this much to do, this many hours, and then say, and how many students? Definitely let them know that you're onto it. Don't say, hey, if it goes over this much, pay me money. That seems a bit provocative. So yeah, just clarify and get on the same page what you paid for and why. And then moving forward, it should be all hunky-dory. But me and my colleagues are still in the position of how the fuck are we gonna bring it up without causing them to feel like they're being ganged up on by, all of the English teachers here. So, yeah, we'll probably talk about it over the next few days. But if it does go all right, and they do go, oh, all right, well, we'll just pay you the money, then it should be all sweet. If not, I'll probably, make another video of an update about how it goes. So if it goes well, I'll let you know. If it goes bad, I'll let you know. And then you know what trap you might fall into, and if you do, how to get out of it. But until then, I'm gonna get the fucking train and go home. Yeah. I think that's a good tip. Just the tip though. Bye.